Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Apologies if I sound a little off. I'm actually sick as a dog after coming back from my fantastic vacation. So I'm recording this video while I'm still stuffed up. Apologies if anything sounds weird. Bioware has been slowly trickling out more information regarding Veilguard these past couple of months, and yesterday was no exception, with them finally revealing the voice cast for the characters that you'll actually be able to control. So this is not a full list of all the voice casts that is involved in the game, just the ones who would be voicing your Rook main character or your party members. And I gotta say, it's a very interesting list, and it's interesting to see as well the way Bioware has kind of planted their flag in inclusivity. I think this is very consistent with the way Bioware has done games in years past. But I would say in today's climate, it has the chance to be even more divisive, but that doesn't seem to bother them at all. So it's really an interesting marketing strategy. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they have on offer. Here at Standard Gaming, we focus on CRPGs, so if that kind of content interests you, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and keep in mind that I do live stream both on YouTube and Twitch. Alright, so first let's start with your Rook main character. You're actually going to have 4 different voices that you can choose from. 1 male and 1 female American, and then 1 male and 1 female who is from Britain. And so this is going to give you some different accents to play with. And if I remember correctly, there's going to be a pitch slider as well. So hopefully people should have a lot of flexibility to get the exact voice that they want. Now, the voice actors are Alex Jordan, Bryony Corrigan, Erica Ishii, and Jeff Berg. I'm not familiar with the work of any of them, but they seem to all have worked with some pretty major titles. So hopefully they'll be able to bring a little bit of cachet to the role, and we can get some very interesting options. If you remember from the gameplay trailer, selecting options that are associated with specific emotional responses is still going to be a big deal in Veilguard. So you can consistently be stoic, or you can consistently be sarcastic, whatever you think is going to fit your character the best. And just from the little bit I've heard of these actors and actresses, it seems like a couple of them should be able to deliver some really nice comedic, sarcastic options. And it's the other ones that I'm more so concerned with. Really, specifically Stoic. I hope Stoic is much more engaging for the upcoming game than it was in Dragon Age 2. Now, the interesting news doesn't stop there, because they also released a list of the voice actors who will be handling the party members you could potentially control. Of course, Ali Hillis returns in the role of Harding, and she is very popular for being in Mass Effect 3 and playing Liara Tassoni. Absolutely love her voice. Thought she did a great job as Harding, and I think she delivers romantic lines very well. So that should make a Harding romance even more interesting to go through. So definitely great to see her back. And then we also have Ike Amadi as Davrin. Ike Amadi is also from Mass Effect fame. Specifically, he was in Mass Effect 3 and played Javrik. Anyone who played that game knows Javrik's voice was amazing. Really nice work on his behalf. Makes me even more excited to have Davrin in my party, and at some point I'm definitely going to have to play as a female Grey Warden and see what a romance with his character, how that content shapes up. Really cool stuff. Now, in addition to this, Brian Bloom and Gareth David Lloyd return in their roles as Varric and Solus respectively. Great to hear. Of course, those voices are iconic for those characters. Really difficult to do it without them. So glad to see that they're back on board. And a huge surprise, Manfred, who's the skeletal servant for Emmerich is being voiced by Matthew Mercer. Man, he finds a way to get into every single game that he can. But I gotta hand it to Mercer. I feel like he very consistently does a fantastic job, which is why he's always able to get work. Can you kind of tell that it's his voice? Yeah, but at the same time, he puts in a lot of effort to distinguishing his different roles. I do not believe that Minx sounds the same as Adair at all. And so I'm not mad to see him here, especially since I never expected to see him playing a skeleton. That should be super, super cool to watch and see what he does with the role. So overall, I think the development is very exciting. Some of the other voice talent listed here as well, I'm not familiar with them, but again, based on the things that they've been involved in the past, it seems like they are well known in their fields, and this is a very, very strong cast list. What's also interesting is there's a huge amount of diversity in this cast list as well. And not just in terms of race, but a couple of these people identify themselves as non-binary, and they were very open about that in some of their videos talking about the role. So it seems like Bioware is really, again, planting their flag in inclusivity. This is something they talked a lot about when they walked through some of the strengths of the character creator. They really want all people, white, black, brown, gay, straight, binary, non-binary, whatever, to feel like they can come to this game, create a character who represents them, and hopefully also can make connections and develop relationships that reflect the uniqueness of each player who's engaging with the game. Very interesting marketing strategy. Will it work? I think that's obviously dependent upon the quality of the game, right? Even if the character creator is great, even if the romances are great, if the story sucks and everything else around it is poor, I think it's going to make it very difficult to enjoy. I've seen a couple of videos talking about it's concerning that we haven't seen more gameplay footage of Dragon Age at this point. I don't necessarily agree, because I think it depends on how soon the game is supposed to come out. If they announced that the game is coming out at the end of August, for example, and we've barely seen anything, and that changes only a little bit next month, then yeah, I'd definitely be concerned. It will seem like Bioware is trying to hide things because they don't want people to realize how terrible the game actually is. But if the game's not coming out until, let's say, October, they have plenty of time to put out more substantial content that makes it really clear what kind of experience people would get when they're playing Veilguard. And they've already announced that they'll be releasing the character creator ahead of time as well. So at this point, I'm not really concerned that Bioware is trying to hide a subpar game. I think we're really not going to know until the game releases, regardless of what Bioware does for the marketing or the hype train of this game. And I gotta be honest with you, so far, based on what they've released, I'm excited. The only thing that they've done that really upsets me is they've announced you will not be able to select Blood Mage as one of your options if you're playing a mage. And I think that makes zero sense, especially considering this game is located in Teventer, which is the heart of where blood magic is performed. The idea that the devs would cut you off from that because they don't consider it to be heroic and they don't feel comfortable with the main character being able to engage in that, that's deeply disturbing. Because, you know, we've mentioned before, this new version of Dragon Age is taking a bunch of things from Mass Effect, right? And in a lot of ways, I feel like that's a good thing, because I love Mass Effect, and I actually like the Mass Effect series more than I like the Dragon Age series. But one thing that I don't want them to take is Mass Effect basically forced you into the hero role. You can do aggressive actions, you know, you can be more forceful in a way that turns off some people, but at the end of the day, you're always focused on saving the galaxy, right? And that's only the case to some degree in Dragon Age. You are focused on protecting your family in Dragon Age 2, or save it for rather than Dragon Age, but really the games always gave you the flexibility to be an absolutely despicable person if that was your preference. And it almost sounds like these new Bioware devs are trying to veer away from that and instead put you in a situation where you only have a little bit of flexibility, and for the most part, you're going to need to be the good guy. I think that would be a mistake. I think that it would be a turnoff for a lot of players. Many people have mentioned that Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have a particularly good evil run. It's clear that a lot more effort has been placed in the good guy run. And they use that as an example to kind of say that it's not worth devs putting more effort into the evil run. But I strongly disagree with that, because I think the choice is paramount. Like, players need to feel like they're actually making a choice between behaviors. So even if they don't select the evil choice, it's really important that it's there and that it's viable, because it makes the player engage with the world so much more, because they're like, hey, I could be doing things in a totally different way, but instead I've decided to stand for justice and to stand for actually helping people, right? And so I feel like a game where there's really no way around it, you have to be that way, the experience is not nearly as strong. And there's definitely some fear that that's the kind of experience we're going to get in Veilguard. But hopefully not. Again, I'm excited for this game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Definitely looking forward to it. Definitely plan to play it. I think the voice cast that they've released is strong. I think the gameplay footage put a lot of concerns to rest. It did add some new ones, especially in the area of combat. And so hopefully Bioware can release more information that helps people understand why the content isn't going to just be button mashy and it will actually be engaging. But this is definitely a game I am looking forward to checking out. Anyway, that's my video. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Are you excited by the names listed in the voice cast? Is there any other specific information that you want to see regarding Veilguard to help you make a decision about whether or not you're going to purchase it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.